My name's Anna Item, and I'm a Seint artist. I've been a Seint artist since July 2020. Been using Seint for, since November 2019, I think. So I'm coming on to Ashley's group to show a couple eye looks. I posted some looks that I've done in the past and asked for your input on what you'd like to see. And so got the winners here. I'm going to do 2 eyes because I've got 2 eyes. This is a 3-color look. We'll be doing, this is on Wednesdays, Lullaby, and this one is Noel from the Advent calendar, but something that you could substitute for this would be Philly or Coco. So Coco is, and I'll put the, when I upload the video, I'll take pictures and I'll add them there. So Coco is this one. They're pretty darn close. Or Philly is this one right here. So I can't wait for those Advent calendar colors to come back. I hope they don't forget all about us. Okay, so there's a 3-color look, and then I'll do the 4-color eye look here. This is Crush, Cupcake, Coco, and I already forgot. Cider. So this is an Advent color. So a good dupe for this one would probably be, I would say Leo is probably the closest, which is that one. You could maybe mix Leo and maybe Lullaby or maybe Mama to get that color. So it's a pretty unique color, but I think it would look pretty decent. So I've got my eyes cleaned. I just cleaned off my eyeshadow from this morning. I can't remember what I had on this morning, but so typically when I prep my eyes, I would put either a primer. This is a primer that I use. It's called Thank Me Later. I have oily lids, so if I don't use a primer or at least my highlight, usually I use my lightest color highlight, and then put some powder over it, I do get some creasing because I have some oily hooded eyes, and that's pretty common if you have hooded eyes to get some creasing. So whenever I do a look, I will typically either use my Vanilla Dust powder to kind of set either my primer or my highlight, or I'll just use my lightest color. That's the easiest thing for me to do. I'm going to use the eyeshadow brush, probably throw the smudge brush in there too, and then I'm also going to be using, this is a brush cleaner. This is one that's called a Color Switch. Seint carries one as well. That's not it. This guy right here. I like to use this if I'm traveling to put in my compact, but when I'm at home I just use this one. So I'm just going to clean off my brushes. So one thing, if you are noticing that you're having problems with colors looking kind of muddy together, make sure you always are cleaning your brushes in between colors, because that can lead your colors to look kind of muddy together. So let's start with on Wednesdays. Just going to dip in there, and I'm just going to put it all over. So this is a nice pretty like pink light shimmer. So I am putting this all over, and that's kind of my way, rather than setting it with a setting powder or whatever. I just put the lightest color all over. Some people think that's weird, but I never said I wasn't weird. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with Lullaby. You can tell that's one of my favorite colors. It's pretty well used. And because I have hooded eyes, so what that just means is when I open my eye, you can't see my whole lid. Some days are worse than others. They're not. This eye is a little bit worse than this one, but so I'm not going to just go into the crease, because if I did that, then when I open my eyes, it disappear. So I'm holding my brush down at the end, keeping my eye open, and going. And I'm going to close it a little bit because I'm running into my eyelashes. And I'm just going to going windshield wiper in and above the crease there. So these, Lullaby is one of my favorites. So Don't need much. They're pretty pigmented, and our brushes do a really good job picking up the product and placing it where it needs to go to. So that's that. Now I'm going to clean my brush. And then I'm going to flip over to, I call it the pencil end or the bullet end. And I'm going to go into, this is Noel, but like I said, if you don't have the Advent colors, you could use Philly or Coco. Both of those would work. Just kind of lightly dab in there. And I'm going to go into the outer V. So what I do is just kind of, almost like you're doing a wing. So I just kind of lay it right there. And then I go in a little bit here. Just placing that color. So it's almost like you're contouring your eyes. So you can kind of see it when I open my eyes. Then anything that's left over, I'm just going to pop that down under the lower lash line to try to make those colors come together. And then my brush, which is clean, I'm just going to lightly blend those colors together. I don't want to completely blend it away, but I just want to get rid of any sharp kind of lines, I guess. So I'm just kind of blending it over into the crease and then just lightly in that outer V. So you can still see the darkness there, not completely gone. And I could stop here if I wanted to. If I wanted to add a little bit more pop of the shimmer color. With my shimmers, I like to use my finger. Let me get a cramp in it first here. And when you use your finger, it gives a little bit better payoff for the shimmer. So I add that to the inner corner. And that inner probably 1/2 to 2/3. And if I wanted to just kind of soften, there really can't really tell the line between, but I can kind of soften it if I want to. So there's look number one. We're already done. Okay, so another thing that I will do is I like to line the a tight line is what I call it. So it's the water line on the top. So I take a waterproof liner. Look away if eyes bug you. Here's your warning. And just kind of line that top. And I have contacts. Usually I color on my contact. Didn't get it today. So what that does is just make it look thicker without having to put mascara, or eyeliner on. So with hooded eyes, you've got some precious real estate up there, is what I call. I'm just softening this bottom line with the Lullaby. So I don't like to take up too much space with the liner, so that's why I line it inside so it doesn't take up as much space. So I have the appearance of more lid space. So, but if you want to use a waterproof one, I really like the Thrive Cosmetics. I have really sensitive eyes. In fact, I used a liner that I really like how well it stays, but I noticed a couple of those days that I wore it, my eyes were really itchy. But you can try it, maybe it'll work for you. This is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio. I really like that one because it stays. But again, it didn't work for me, which is a bummer. For the inside, it will work for the outside. And I also picked up some Flower Beauty. This is Drew Barrymore's makeup company. Those are pretty good. Those are good for sensitive eyes too. It maybe transfers a little bit, but I just will wipe it off there. All right, so there's our 3-color look. So now we'll go on to our 4-color look. And I've got, again, Crush, let's see, Cupcake, Crush, Cider, Coco. If you don't have Cider, you could use Leo, maybe mixed with a little Mama, or just Leo by itself. You could probably use Lullaby. Would look pretty as well. So for this one, I'm going to go in with Cupcake with my brush that I cleaned. And that's what I'm going to put all over. So I kind of use this lightest color as my kind of my base. And it can also be used as a shimmer. This is not a shimmer, but like for my other eye, I use the On Wednesdays not only as the base, but also as the shimmer that I popped on top there. So Cupcake is a nice matte kind of ivory color. I really like it for what I'm doing right now, is just providing a nice little canvas for you to blend your colors. So next I'm going to go in with Cider. I basically do the same thing with all my colors, so whether it's 3 or 4. I just do all over. I do crease, outer V, a little bit on the bottom. Sometimes I deepen it up. I typically don't use more than 3 or 4 colors, unless I'm getting fancy. So going in with the Cider, again, keeping my eye open. It's a little bit lighter than Lullaby. Leo will probably be a little bit darker than this, so maybe you could maybe try Vanilla. Valencia might work too for this one. Just kind of depends on if it's going to show up on you or not. So again, windshield wiper motion, holding the eyeshadow brush low towards the end so you're not putting any pressure, and just lightly putting it there. So then, actually I'm going to take the excess and just kind of put it underneath my eye. And I'm going to go with, you guessed it, my darker color. Okay, so this is what pencil end. Again, I'm using the same steps. This is Coco. If you don't have Coco, you could use Philly. That would be a good one. And I'm just going to draw that outer V. I kind of go up from my eye, edge of my eye, and I kind of aim for the end of the tail of my eyebrow is what I do. Okay, so you can see if I could just leave it like this and it almost looks like I have a wing, but it's shadow. Liner, I am using Thrive Cosmetics waterproof, and the color is called Lauren, the black one. So again, this would be really cute to even just stop here. Like I said, it almost looks like a wing, especially if I connect down here. Make it a little bit more fancy there. But I'm just going to add a little bit here just to deepen up the crease a little. And then I'm going to flip my brush, lightly blend. I don't really need to blend this one very much because it's not super dark there. But I could make it darker if I wanted to. In fact, I think I will. So again, just taking my pencil end and aiming for the angle. So the angle of my tail, but I'm just bringing it down. And then just kind of bringing it out like that. Okay, so now, you guessed it, the shimmer is coming next. Okay, so this is Crush. It's kind of a peachy shimmer color. Really pretty. So just kind of pat it on there. Give it a little bit of shimmer there. Pop that in the corner. I could also pop the cupcake in there if I wanted to as well. So there I've got my 4-color eye look and my 3-color eye look, and we're done already. So I will take pictures, or at least post pictures with colors that you can use. Oh, thanks for my earrings. You see their little skulls? They're kind of badass, so I'm not really badass, but I like to pretend I am. All right, so I hope you guys all had a good evening. If you have any questions about what colors and how to order them, get a hold of Ashley. She can help you out. Or if you're from my page, you can get a hold of me. So have a good night and happy anniversary, Ashley. Bye.